Hey, yeah, what's up, ladies? Happy Wellness Wednesday. Steph Chuecos here, and I want to welcome everyone to this live video. I'm super excited. We have a bunch of new members, and I want to welcome all of you. Again, this is a place where women that are passionate about life get together because we've all had some digestive issues that we're battling with. It goes from IBS through some people that have IBDs through the range in between. And what we're trying to do here is to provide a group that is really a group that we can just be ourselves. So we can talk about things that are important to our current condition. We can just kind of like be honest, talk about poop, which is one of my favorite topics, talk about how we're feeling, the flares up that we get every time we eat and we have to go to the bathroom. So it's really a community where we can be ourselves, we can open up, and we can support each other. So welcome everyone. Give me a like or comment if you're watching. I know it is kind of late in the East Coast, and it's summer, so probably people are out there trying to take as much advantage as they can of the weather. I know I try to. So one of the things, couple of things that I wanted to talk today about. The first one, it's really related to tonic herbalism and how do we actually use it so that we can provide some digestion aid into our digestive system. So tonic herbalism, hopefully by the end of the video, you're going to get a quick understanding of what tonic herbalism means according to traditional Chinese medicine. And I will also give you a tea that I would recommend and I love. I use it with my clients so that you can essentially get everything or most of the things that had to be together in a tonic for it to actually be a tonic beverage. It's everything in one tea. So hopefully you can go ahead and try it yourself and see that it's not as complicated as it sounds. So somebody's watching, hi, welcome. And then last thing that I wanted to mention, for if you're adding new women into the group, I'm super happy and excited that you are. However, just so you know, I'm asking a couple of questions before I add them to the group. So if you're adding a friend, just tell them, hey, just answer the questions. The purpose really is for me to make sure that this stays a very strong community and that we're here for the right purposes. So I want to make sure that whenever anybody's joining, they can bring something to the table and hopefully help each other out and support the community. So if you are, just remind them to answer a couple of questions. And also it allows me to connect with them and see if there's anything in particular that I can help them with. It can help them with. All right, so let's just get really into topic right away. The reason why I wanted to specifically talk about this now, it's because I feel like with everything that we've already kind of know in terms of food, so most of us are already in diets that are taking away gluten, taking away dairy, taking away sugar, which are most of the inflammatory foods. We need some support. We need some help. And as I run the program with other ladies are going through the Heal Your Gut with Food program, one of the things that we're talking about this week specifically, it's superior herbs, tonic herbs, and how do we add them into a protocol? How do we add them into our day-to-day life, hopefully? And so that is not complicated, right? Because we're all super busy. We want to do so many things. But when it comes to healing our gut, we want to make sure that we place attention in the foods that we eat, but also that we complement it in a way that is easy and on the go. So, hi, somebody else is watching. Give me a comment or a like so that I know if you're hearing me okay and if I'm making sense. So superior herbs. Essentially, there are 120 superior herbs in Chinese tonic herbalism system, which is essentially one of the most effective in the world. And really the main goal here is to supplement the energies and the nutrients so that we keep our body going for longer. So the point is, a lot of the food that we eat is being depleted from nutrients. We're not getting everything that we need from the foods that we eat. So we need to supplement our current nutrition with the help of herbs. And I'm excited because I've always liked this topic. I feel like really nature is out there to give us everything that we need. We don't necessarily need to look into, unless you really have an intense condition, really go into the chemical side of things and getting, antacids and metamucils and things to help us. I feel like if we understand nature and we understand our current stage, we can cure ourselves in a natural way. All right, so we have about 120 superior herbs in the Chinese tonic herb. About 60 of them are considered to be the most important ones. So these are tonic herbs. Now, one of the keys of these tonic herbs is that they actually have to have one of the three treasures. The treasures are the Jing, the Qi, and the Shen. Some of the benefits really of these tonic herbs, and I can spend the whole night talking about it, but I want to make sure that you guys understand that it is really beneficial. And even though I'm here saying it, you're not going to really feel it until you actually try it. So in order for an herb to be tonic, so these 60 herbs, they're tonic herbs because they have to have the following characteristics. So they have to be they have to have anti-aging characteristics and really must aid into trying to attain a well-balanced long life. It also has to have a profound effect in helping us balance our emotions and psychic energy. So if you believe in intuition, if you believe in being connected to yourself and to our souls and to that higher power out there, then tonic herbs are supposed to align with that and help you with that. It does not have negative side effects. So those are one of the keys of tonic herbs. They're not medicinal. They're not here to harm you. You can drink them for a period of time and not feel side effects. So that's key as well. That's another characteristic. Also, it must taste good, right? So if you're drinking an herb and it's just like so bitter or pungent that you can even get it through your throat, then that doesn't make sense, right? So the idea is to do combinations or do tonics that actually taste good. And also they're easily digestible and easily assimilated into our body. And then the last thing I mentioned already, it has to have one of the treasuries, the three treasuries, which is either the Jing, which is it's spelled G-I-N-G, the Qi, which is spelled Q-I, and then the Shen. So I'm going to talk a little bit about these three, and I probably mentioned it in my other videos, but I feel like if you're new to the group, this will probably be a good idea for you to have an understanding of what each of these treasures mean and how do we actually put it all together into this tea that I'm going to talk to you about, and hopefully you can get and try it for yourself. So the first treasure is the Jing, again, G-I-N-G, G-I-N-G. And really what the Jing is, it's really representing our long-term energy. So it's the energy that we were given in our lives to actually accomplish whatever it is that we need to accomplish. It's like the energy to accomplish our destiny. So it's so important that we're always recharging our Jing energy. Now, what happens? It just gets depleted by leaving, right? So by just putting too much things in our plate, just eating things that are kind of like outside of our constitution, things that are inflammatory, or just by being all the time so busy that we don't have time to take care of our bodies, that's when the Jing energy starts to deplete. Also, when we're not sleeping enough, when we're overstressed, lack of nutrients. And within Jing herbs, we have two types of Jing herbs. We have Jing herbs, which is Y-I-N, and we have Yan herbs, which is Y-A-N. And some of the examples of Jing herbs, for instance, are He Shou Wu, which is a tea that I've already talked to you guys about. There's a post on it in the Facebook group. We also have goji berries, which is a superfood, and they've become so famous lately. Also, things like asparagus root and Shisandra, one of my favorites. I also talked about that in one of the posts here as a summer drink that I make. And then the yang herbs. So the yin herbs have a little more of a cooling side or a cooling temperature. So if you're into traditional Chinese medicine, or if you've done a little bit of research, you know that we have cool temperatures, we have warm, and we have neutral. Depending on where you are, we're trying to balance the temperature in your body by eating different type of foods. So the Jing have more of cooling characteristics. Then we have the Yang herbs, which are usually you usually drink them to, one, build sex, build your creative power, build endurance. This is more of the warm or hot side of the Jing herbs. And some of them are the Eucomina, for instance, Epidemium as well as another one. And there are a bunch of them that I like to use that are not in, hold on one second, let me just try, because in my opinion, these are herbs that we want to make sure that if we go to a Chinese herbalism, or if we go to a health store, we're able to ask. And some of the ones that I like to have, for instance, as a Jing herb as well, just going back to the Jing, will be the American ginseng root. I went to Chinatown here in New York and got one. They're not cheap, right? So good quality, organic, are kind of expensive, but it's worth it. I drink it almost every day, especially when I need to replenish my Jing energy, when I feel like I've been exhausted for a long time, and I haven't been able to keep up with my sleep. And I know that I'm not going to be able to sleep anytime soon. So I just get my American ginseng. The other one that I like to use is the astragalus, and that's the one that I was essentially banking on. That is another herb that is very important, but it goes more into the Qi energy, so the QI. And it brings me to what I wanted to talk to you about, the Qi. So the Qi essentially is the energy that we have to accomplish our everyday tasks, right? So it's really, Qi really translated into vitality. So it's an energy that we can acquire by breathing. If you work with me, you know that I'm very, very intense when it comes to breathing. We do breathing exercises, different techniques, because at the end of the day, we're capturing energy every time we breathe. So the Qi can be also stimulated and can be also kept in our bodies by just doing better breathing, which, by the way, should be always through your nose. But that's another time. That's Facebook. That's another topic for another Facebook Live. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that you really have different Qi tonics that you could use. But this is very important for us as we're healing our digestive system, because the Qi tonics really fortify the digestive system. That's one of the things that they do. Digestive system, respiratory, and immune system. So also another characteristic of the Qi tonics is that they are very powerful adaptogenic herbs. That's what the way I'm gonna put it. Adaptogenic herbs. And what that means really is, let me see if I see. That's the way I'm gonna put it. Adaptogenic herbs. And what that means. Sorry, really, guys. I'm just. I have my iPad. The way I'm gonna put it. Adaptogenic herbs. Okay, sorry about that. I had the iPad also going on because I wanted to see if I could get any comments or any thought from the audience. Oh, Shanti, yay. Hey, Leticia, thank you for watching. Sorry, I was just on another, watching the Facebook instead of watching the questions here on Be Live TV. Yes, so really what I recommend, it's honestly, if you're not treating any particular condition, then it's better to just take the teas. If you're drinking one particular condition, if you know you want to build your Qi, build your Jing, or build your Shen, then probably pills are also a good idea, because they will go straight into your blood system. So it really depends. For what we're trying to do here, which is making sure that we have a tonic herb every day, not necessarily to address any particular condition, it's better just to drink the tea. It's easy to make, right? Just put it in your warm water and just go. So that's the tea that I'm actually going to talk about in a little bit. And but before I go into that, just to mention some of the chi herbs. Astragalus is one of my favorites, or chi tonic. Astragalus, I think, Shanti, you are drinking that tea and it makes you feel hot sometimes. So you can even tell us how that has worked for you. And then another one that I really, really like in terms of chi will be, what do you call that herb? So yeah, this is the one that I was trying to pronounce. Is the eucommia bark. There's another one that you could use. And again, it's very, very interesting, the taste, so you will have to try it. But it's another one that is very, very widely used. Okay, so let's move and talk a little bit about the third treasure, which is the Shen treasure. And the Shen treasure, it's really related to something that you guys might be aware of, or you guys might not, or you guys might believe in it or might not, but it's really the energy of consciousness and awareness. So there's really not a specific translation for Shen, but it's often translated as the spirit. So it's really the vitality and the stability of the mind, the human spirit. And it really, when you have great Shen, it manifests into being a loving person, somebody that's a little bit more connected to themselves, somebody that is not reactive. If you want to go into a spiritual here, so from a spiritual perspective, they say that Shen is kind of like the ultimate treasures, right? Because if you're conscious, if you're aware of your body, you're aware of yourself, then that should translate into being connected to your higher self. So that's for you if you are a little bit more on the spiritual side. There's a couple of herbs that you can drink to have to increase your Shen. Ideally, you want to drink it at night, just because it really has that ability to kind of like calm you, calm your mind, calm your thoughts. And for me, I haven't really found one in a herb type of form. The one that I like to drink, it's a pill, and then it goes to Shanti, to your question about do I recommend pills or the actual herb. I would recommend the pill, just especially for me, because my mind, so as a Vata constitution, and looking at it from traditional Chinese medicine perspective, I feel like my mind never stops. So it's always like going around, and I'm always feel like sometimes I need something to bring my Shen up and calm me. So I will drink pearl powder, and that's something that you can find. There are a couple of places which I would recommend. So for instance, Dragon Herbs is one of my favorite places to actually look at herbs and tonics, and they have a pearl powder to help you with the Shen part of the treasuries, or with the Shen quality that you are supposed to keep balanced. So any questions so far on the three treasures, or anything else in terms of those specifics topic that I just covered? Okay, don't see any questions. So let's just jump right into what I would recommend if you have time to get you started into this Chinese herbalism or tonic herbalism. And that is one of my favorite teas, which is the Spring Dragon Longevity Tea. I'm going to put it up here. The reason why I like it, you can buy it online. It's right here. I'm going to put the link so that you can buy it in the comments. So the reason why I like this tea is because it has two of the treasures. So it has astragalus for your Jing Jing. It has Shisandra as well. And it has the main ingredient, really, it's Gynostemma. So I don't know if you've heard about Gynostemma leaves or not, but this Gynostemma leaf, it's been called the magical grass in Asia. And there are a bunch of stories about how we got to discover this ancient herb. But what you really need to know is that by drinking this tea, you find two of the treasuries. And the fact that this is really an adaptogenic herb. Sorry, I can't even. Adaptogenic herb. It really can go into your body and realize what are some of the things that it needs to be improved. So you can go in there directly because it has the ability to adapt to what your body needs. Some of the things that I would mention and that I recommended as part of my program is because it helps you with the sugar craving. It is a tea that if you need energy, it's going to pump you up. You can drink it early in the morning. It's going to be able to adapt to that. But also you can drink it at night when you want to calm down, when you want to start to wind down and relax. So it's a tea that has very, very, so it's very adaptable, going back to that word. Now, the one thing that I've also wanted to mention is that the reason why this has been very, very popular, specifically in Asia, they call it, like I said, magical grass, is because it can be invigorating, it can be calming, anti-aging, and more specifically for us, it helps with digestive aid. So it's very, very soothing. So that's why I wanted to bring it up into these Facebook Live, because I feel like if you want to get into tonic herbalism, if you want to make sure you're addressing the three treasuries, but you want to make sure that you're taking care of your digestive system, this would be one of the best ways to actually start incorporating into your daily life. So you can drink a couple of teas a day, mid-morning or mid-afternoon. And that will be my recommendation. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to post where you can find the tea, basically on Amazon or on Dragon Herbs. And I hope that you found this Facebook Live interesting and helpful. And always, I'm a Facebook Messenger away. So just message me in the Facebook app if you have questions. And I will see you in my next Wellness Wednesday in the next Facebook Live. All right, ladies, have a great night and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.